Not here. Not here.
Uh-oh.
All right, guys. So let's get the ball rolling. Really excited to see you, John, on there here. Obviously, all the way over from not so sunny England. We've got some topics to run through. But it's gonna be a good one for everyone watching. Let's put it that way. Just really wanted to start off. Really, John, tell us about perhaps some products that you've been excited to get reviewed on your channel, and then me and Craig will probably do the same.
Okay, cool, guys. Yeah, I mean, for me, whenever I look for a new product, I mean, I think it always stems from you guys, because I see you guys always get it first. So from there on, I kind of like make an analysis of what I should be aiming for next. So one of the first newer products like I was really keen on was Merit's Mad Titan from Fusion Sport Performance. I mean, and I actually followed it, guys. It was really good. I mean, that really lived up to my expectations. But I mean, I'm also excited for Pollen's new Hooligan. That looks really good. The new Assassin looks great too. So yeah, I mean, nothing really else kind of tickles my fancy at the moment. But I'm sure that will change in the future with more companies dropping some stuff after this whole COVID thing.
Definitely. I'd say for us, it's just the products we keep getting asked about. The phase 1 nutrition, we get asked about that a lot. Obviously, Hooligan, when it does come out, that's going to be another top tier product. We're definitely excited to get reviewed. I think we've got so many products to get reviewed, and obviously everyone's asking for different products to be reviewed. It is difficult to keep on top of them all. And I think the consensus is, and what is obvious, is anyone that is willing to send, product over for review, normally that product is good. Obviously, we do have the occasional product that does fall short on the scale, shall we say, but the majority of the time, the products that we're getting sent over, I expect the same with you, John, is, they're going to be good, because for them to actually go ahead and send it over to us, they've got to have a bit of faith that their product's going to do well in an unbiased review.
And I guess any of the ones that don't get sent by the company, we've got to use our own savings to buy, haven't we? So
Absolutely.
Better get out the loan for all of those ones.
Absolutely. Well, luckily we've we're planning on getting quite a lot of products that are not perhaps as easy to obtain, and we will still stay 100% honest when it comes around to reviewing them. I think us, like you, John, like there are a select few other review channels, we'll always keep things 100% honest. If something doesn't live up to the expectation or the hype, we're the first ones to call it out as a you. Vice versa, we'll be first to say, hold our hands up if the product is good. So
keep an open mind.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot more coming. So very excited about that. How about in regards to your favourite products that you've reviewed on your channel so far?
My favourites. I'm a big fan of, I would say, of Alkaline. They really do some good stuff. Again, you guys know Apollon. When I used the Hooligan V1, it was really good. Also, Muscle Sport Rhino. That was actually pretty good. The King's Ransom, I like that quite a bit. It was a good overall pre-workout. And I think I'm lucky also in my regard, because these pre-workouts I get, no one else in like kind of South Africa gets them. So I'm pretty much fortunate. But I mean, there's still a lot of pre-workouts I would like to try. So I mean, those are probably my favorite pre-workouts per se. But then obviously, I think I would add Mad Titan to that list as well. I think that was really top notch for me. You guys?
Yeah, it sounds like definitely something we've got to get reviewed then. I mean, if you're giving it really good scores, it's got to be good. For us, some brands, obviously, Apollon always springs to mind. They're fully transparent, fully dosed. Rob, he loves their company. He's put his heart and soul into it, into his products, into his customers. The customer service as well is fantastic.
Alpha Lion's another one.
I was just literally going to say Alpha Lion.
Yeah.
Alpha Neon being another one. Their Dark Side, their Maximum Carnage, as well as some other products they're bringing out. The Neon Dreams. We had very good experience with that. Just those sort of brands, that continue to bring out good product after good product after good product. at the same time keeping the prices reasonable. Yeah, there's Nova Farmer, another really good one we really like. Obviously, I have to say them. MVP is a brilliant pre-workout. So,
and then you've got the lesser known ones that are really good as well. What's that company that made that pre-fizz? It's just behind you there. Like Truthfully.
Oh yeah, that was them. Truthfully. Yeah, that was surprisingly good. We did really enjoy that. CMP's another one.
Yeah,
scoring very, very well. Their prices are unbelievably cheap. I don't know how they make a profit out of them. I really don't.
But I think also a good brand is Peak Performance as well. They've really always made some stuff.
Yeah, very, very, very good. And a nuclear pump. If you can't get a pump off nuclear pump, there's probably a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just these companies that continuously make better products. And, you know, a lot of the time you see companies doing a version 2. We've said this before, and it ends up being worse because they're taking ingredients out. They're dumbing down the formula. But all these companies we've just mentioned seem to be getting better and better with every iteration of their updates. So that's why they've got our support.
Definitely. Have to agree with that. There's obviously a lot more even behind me. I expect you've got loads in your house, John, with like getting swamped by products at the moment. But there's actually a lot of good companies popping up. Obviously, there's a lot of bad ones as well. And I think that's probably where it is just so important that guys like us, you know, like FDN, Opperman, VW Fitness, No Fate, you know, you name it, the good ones are around to actually give our honest thoughts and feelings.
Yeah, real world experience, hands-on reviews, not just this sitting behind the desk analysing ingredients and trying to make bad products sound good because things are happening behind the scenes, but hands-on, real world, real life experience. This is why I like the products, and this is why I don't like it. All of those channels that you just mentioned do that, and that's why we've got so much respect for them.
I think a lot of people... Go on, John.
Okay, so sorry guys, but yeah, I think it's also so important for us to always be transparent so that these companies can learn from what we say and then kind of implement it into them, like coming up with a brand new formula and making it even better. I mean, if everyone keeps lying and sucking up, sucking arse, how's the company ever going to improve? How are they going to make better products, you know?
I think a lot of people are there's half of me on this and half of me off of this one. So with the labels, obviously labels are very important to know, like to see the transparency with ingredients, make sure they are, you know, clinically dosed, fully dosed, with a decent range of ingredients in each product. But what we have noticed, and you know, TJ famous line, labels are just labels. Sometimes some of those very good labels just don't work in the real world.
There are loads of different reasons. There's digestion issues. There could be where, like we've had one recently, we're going to be dropping the review next week, where it looks like a fantastic label, like an 8 or a 9 out of 10 from a label standpoint, but it just doesn't come together. You know, you feel de-energized, you feel sluggish, you feel ill, you get a headache, and it's just like, so some of these just aren't tying together nicely and coming together for an actual pre-workout that you want to use in the gym in real life.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So yeah.
Sorry guys, I think we also saw that there was a pre-workout that literally used every single compound solution ingredient inside. I'm trying to get the name. But I mean, like that was a prime example of it. I mean, more doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be better. And I think that's a prime example of it. You can't just throw in patents and think it's going to be better than like something that maybe doesn't have patents or has less compounds.
100%. We've seen labels with like 4, 5, 6 ingredients in it that are clinically dosed, and they're beating, you know, these guys that are paying thousands and thousands to make their labels and bottles look fancy, advertising, paying reviewers, you name it. They're putting all of their money into that rather than actually real life third party testing, I guess is the word. They're just not delivering in real life. I know I keep going back to that, but it just shows that you can have a more basic label, but then that actually can work better.
Yeah, 100%.
People ain't willing to invest. You know, some of these prices are getting crazy now. You know, $40, $50, $60 for a tub, a pre-workout that sometimes even can only have 20 servings. They're just not willing to invest that. If, you know, they take on day one, they open it up, all excited. They paid this money. You open the tub, that's it. You ain't getting your money back off of that. You take it.
They're the ones that they'll buy once, because they'll be like, they'll try and see if if it lives up to the hype, and then they won't go back because they're like, fuck me, I can't afford that sort of money. I can't afford spending $60 every 20 days or however often they use it. So they'll just take it out of curiosity and then move on to something that's more consistent and more affordable.
100%. And it is with this synergy thing. We keep hearing about this synergy thing. Now, I actually do understand, you know, the principles and the basics behind it. Like, my quick example has always been, you know, me and Craig, we get some shady pre-workout, to say the least.
Yeah.
They're high in stimulants, and you'll see a citrulline malate in there at 1 gram to 2 grams. So you could, in theory, argue, you know, with that nitric oxide production, with the vasodilation, you know, the veins, capillaries, etc., getting wider, that could push those stims through. However, my other argument would be, as a big company that is obviously making big profit margins, why even risk putting that ingredient in there at underdose? Why not just put it in at that full dosage? Why?
Yeah.
Why not? Because you're risking criticism, heavy criticism, even if you was lucky enough for that principle to actually work. Like, why not just, you know, a lot of people will go L-tyrosine, 200 milligrams, citrulline, 1 gram. You know, this 1-to-1 thing we keep seeing these days. Like, what is citrulline malate at 1-to-1?
Yeah, I mean, studies have proven that you need at least 3 grams of citrulline to actually work. So why are companies putting anything less than that in it? It's just like you say, it's setting yourself up for a fail. It's like almost asking for backlash. And we've had a label recently that's got citrulline 1-to-1 at what was it, 2 grams, and we called it out that it wasn't good, and you know, we got backlash for that. But yeah, I mean, you got to use clinical doses if you want to bother having an ingredient in it in the first place. That's the thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, sure. And
cool.
Sorry about that, guys, but yeah, I think that's also like the main reason why, like, us as independent, unbiased reviewers is so important, you know, because we can kind of give more education to the consumers that really don't know about this, you know, and kind of emphasize the point a lot more than just some other guy, like a reviewer that's paid, who would just sit there and try and make it sound like it's gold.
I kind of thought of an analogy with this this synergy thing. It's like, you go, let's just say you're going to a car dealership, right? You go in excited to get this new car, and the cars that they've got there, you know, they've only got 3 wheels, but then this synergy means that they technically can drive, but you'd still never buy that 3-wheeled car, would you?
Yeah,
you wouldn't. You just wouldn't risk it. So I get the principle behind it, but I think pushing it is the wrong thing to do. I think just go fully dosed, fully transparent. You know, you'll notice it's only paid reviewers perhaps that are pushing it because, well, the reason is very obvious.
Yeah.
Cheddar cheese, you know.
Yeah. And I think synergy does work to an extent with certain ingredients, but it's when they tar it all with that word synergy. They're like, oh, they just use it to hand wave away underdosing, and synergy, which, yeah, it works in some instances, but not always.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking of which, elephant in the room here, really. John, what's your opinion on paid reviewers?
I mean, like, on one instance, I try and understand from the perspective that, you know, others have to make a living and whatnot. But when, like, these paid reviewers are pushing products that are clearly shit, you know, formula-wise, and, you know, maybe just I mean, if you look, like, what I used to do is I used to look for reviews all over. Like, it will be from you, it will be like on literalbodybuilding.com, it will be like all these different sources. And if all these sources are saying it's shit, and he has this paid reviewer saying it's good, then something just isn't adding up. So in that regard, maybe it could be justifiable, but, like, you know, these guys are getting paid like big money, man, and just for what? I mean, we all do the same thing, but we're not out there like pushing companies, hey, you guys must pay us too, you know, because it's just like a service that we provide, because, you know, we gain the product for free, and we just like to do what we like to do, which is educate consumers and just show them what we think, and they can better themselves from that.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'd say that we're reviewers, and I wouldn't even call these other channels paid reviewers. I'd call them paid marketers or advertisement platforms, because they're being told what information to cherry pick and put out. They're not giving their honest review experience on the product. So I think we almost need to change the name of them, to be honest.
Yeah, to say reviewers is
a stretch.
Yeah, like you said, John, I completely understand wholeheartedly that people need to make a living off of it. I really do. But I do think there has to be that point where they tell people that they are paid, rather than pushing these, like you say, these shit products on people. Luckily, I think because there's enough truthful reviewers out there, everyone is aware of what is good and what's not. You know, I think 99.999% of the time when we review a product, everyone agrees with those effects, should they have then gone and subsequently bought that product.
Other than the troops that get sent in from the company that we've just said isn't any good, or the product isn't any good, they'll send in all their troops to come on the attack and say it's the best pre they've ever taken in their life. It's like, okay.
Yeah, it's when they, we just had one very, very recently, Nappy Boy or some Nappy something. But just tagging us in stories regarding this morphogen, but not actually leaving our tag there, obviously dragging it off screen. Like, mind you, at least that's better than that other woman the other day that just bombarded us with rubbish, really. No argument whatsoever. I mean, to us, that again just shows the caliber of people that they are. And as Craig said, your story on Review Bros last night was fantastic. I watched it 6 times and it makes me laugh every time. You know, we've got no horse in the race. Why are you coming at us? Because we've got nothing to lose. Like, why? What is it going to do to us?
Exactly. They're setting themselves up for a lost battle, and I think they've lost every battle so far. They obviously have to go to get together in their little private groups, discuss it, or work out what they're going to do as their next comeback. They attempt another attack, get slammed, and then they just rinse and repeat every time. I don't see the sense in it.
It makes me wonder: are they truly expecting us to go? Oh, please don't hurt us, please, please be our friends. Like, honestly, it only spurs us on, and it actually worries us even more regarding that product. You know, it was an off-the-cuff, quick story comment and it was not even specifically aimed at morphogen. Okay, I had morphogen in the tag, but I'd already spoke about morphogen. The story was continuing to roll, and I kind of emphasised the point that normally, if a company is not willing to send to a big review channel, you know, it kind of, it makes you worry how that third-party testing is going to happen in real life, like we just mentioned earlier today. That's not always necessarily going to be the case, but to then actually further than that, then go and attack us, it baffles me. It really baffles me.
Yeah, it's like that one we had the other week, where I reviewed 7th Gear, and I literally just said it doesn't live up to the name. It literally says extreme high stim pre-workout on the front, and it's just got a standard amount of caffeine, and that's pretty much the only stimulant in it. And I said it would be considered high stim for a beginner, but not like an intermediate person or someone that would expect it to be high stim. And then we had all these random people that don't follow us come on the attack. Oh, it is high stim. It's 10 out of 10 product, best one I ever used. And then we figured out why they were angry. It's because a certain paid review / marketing channel is pushing it hard, saying it's some heavy hitting, amazing product. And then we said that it was less than around average, and that obviously rubbed them the wrong way.
If it was called Third Gear, perhaps you'd take it on.
Yeah, literally. They just need to rename it, I think.
How about you, John? You had any dramas?
Sorry about this, guys, but what I also think is important is you can always back yourself with whatever you say. Then how are you ever wrong? Because in the day, it's all about opinions. You know, it's all about opinions. And I don't understand like the logic even in South Africa, where some companies would feel threatened by what you're saying. But if you're being truthful, you know, what's there to lose? I mean, I'm not really worried if the companies are never going to send me a product again, because for me, it's just about getting an honest review out, and that's what companies don't understand. They make it like it's a personal attack or vendetta. Meantime, it's just me just trying to be honest, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
And they
Like,
should
do you
take
want
that on board.
feedback about the product or not?
Yeah, and I think that's where there's a clear divide. There's a clear circle of people. There's a clear, a clear wall in between companies, reviewers, and you name it. Yeah, it's just it still baffles me to this day. It really does.
It's the bad and the ugly, isn't it?
Yeah, and the one side of the wall will take criticism and advice on board wholeheartedly, and they'll actually adapt those products, change the products, accept it, or they'll give us a reasoning as to why perhaps a certain ingredient was dosed what it is, or why it was in there or wasn't in there. And then on the other, if you critique a product and even give it a 9 out of 10, sometimes they still just won't accept that. And I don't know why. I think if we was to have our own supplement company and some, reviewers who have got a lot of experience with products, I would be very happy for someone to give us their feedback, as long as it's given in a relatively decent way. It isn't completely slammed upon you. Yeah, then you would take that on board and you'd explain why it's done like that, or you'd customize it in the next run.
Yeah, exactly. So they shouldn't get involved with review channels if they're not willing to take the feedback that the review channels give. It don't make sense.
Well, they just want paid reviews only, don't they? So
yeah, and then back away when they realise it would be an honest one.
Yeah. John? How's the industry over in South Africa? Do you get much?
I mean, like, how can I say? It's also like quite tough because some of these bigger companies only give out products to influencers, not to reviewers as such. So that kind of crossed me out straight away because number one, too honest. And I mean, like from what I've seen, like with some of the reviews and everything else that's been going on, like some companies really adjusting their products and making some good stuff. There's new brands out. I don't know if you heard of MetaLab.
Vaguely, yeah, rings a bell.
Yeah, they like doing some good stuff now. A good quality brand, also trying to push the South African boundaries. It's kind of like a ghost feel. So I understand where they're heading for more premium. Then you got other companies like Titan as well. I mean, they always listen to me. I mean, they use amino 9 in the EAAs, which is what you want in the EAA because that's what you gain. I mean, but like some of the bigger companies, I feel could be doing things better. Because they have the finances, the resources to be pushing out, top compounds and really fully dosing their products clinically. But, I think I won't, well, in my lifetime, I don't think I will see that. It's all about making the profit at the end of the day. It's not about making the best. And that's where I feel South African companies fall short. Everyone's trying to chase the tail of the biggest company who isn't even pushing the envelope,
Yeah, I think there's two kinds, to break it down simply, there's two types of supplement company. There's the in it for a quick buck, churn out a quick, basic label, perhaps an underground pre-workout, make a bunch of sales and then disappear, go dark, and then open it up with another supplement name and do the same thing again, rinse and repeat, quick buck. Then there's the other side, which are the long-term investment supplement companies that will well dose it, a more premium product, improve with every iteration of the product, and really put their heart and soul into the company and the product. And I think that's the main divide between the two types of supplements that we review as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, do you guys actually like personally buy products yourselves, or like is there any product that you guys actually go out and buy, like whether whey protein or anything else like that?
In the most part, no. We have done, obviously, on the channel. We've been going now, coming on 2 years. We've not obviously done it for 2 years just yet. It's our 2-year anniversary, probably next month, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we, however, do realise, there are calls for products that we just can't get, and the reason for that perhaps is that worrying reason. But we do have funds set aside ready to do this. Now, this is important, I think. Do we believe that there are other certain review channels, whatever you want to call them? Do we believe that they're going out and buying these products? No.
No way. Because what reason would they have to go out and buy it and then blow smoke up its arse? Like, there's obviously something going on behind the scenes, money-wise, to make them do that.
Yeah, or either that, or they're just not getting sent anything because they haven't got the following, which
Yeah.
is probably quite a big reason. So they're running out of stuff to even talk about because they've not got any products at their houses.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons. Obviously, the other reason is, yeah, like you say, to get paid, which is, you know, like we mentioned, fair but should be transparent. But do we believe that they're actually going out and buying it? No, because of how much it would cost us guys to run a review channel if we was never given a product. We don't think we only use a few scoops out of it. We don't care if we've got the product or not. It's all sitting here now.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're not really gaining anything by getting free product. Okay, yeah, it's nice, it's cool, but do we need it? No, we've got a 6-month plus backlog at least, and that's just pre-workouts. You forget about intras, fat burners, EAAs, BCAAs, nootropics, you name it.
Exactly. So we're not getting butthurt when certain companies won't send us stuff. What rubs us the wrong way is when they inquire about our reviews, and then we say that it won't be a paid review, and then they suddenly get cold feet and say they're not interested. That's what, when shady behaviour like that happens, that's what gets our back up, not us not getting free product. I mean, does it look like we need free product? We've got enough to last 10 years.
More than that, yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
I mean, are there any how's the industry in the UK with the supplements? Because I see some great brands there, as you mentioned, CMP, HR Labs comes to mind, Chaos comes to mind as well.
It's growing very, very fast. We're seeing new brands popping up all the time. Obviously, a lot of those brands actually are obviously owned, then they're sister companies of some of these bigger companies. And we are getting asked, myself and Craig, obviously due to our experience, quite a lot, we're getting asked by these companies almost to a degree to formulate labels. You'd be surprised that there's some products out there and we can't really disclose them, but that we've helped build that product. And in fact, the funniest thing is some of them have been reviewed by these, by these people who are trying to slam us, and they say it's good. So for them to then say we have no knowledge of products is, it's crazy. But like you just said, John, the industry is growing quick. The imports from other countries are growing. It's all growing, even with this COVID-19 situation. I don't think it's actually slowed up at all. In fact, myself and Craig have been busier than ever, and I can imagine you have as well.
Yeah, of course. So I think people are still setting aside money for supplementation because it's essential for them.
Yeah,
I think
100%.
We discussed this before. I think it's got to that point in lockdown where people's actual normal motivation have run out, so they need it from an external point. So they obviously then invested in pre-workouts to get training again because they've run out of their own motivation. So you saw a bit of a downturn of it, and then it's up on the up now, isn't it? Pre-workout sales, we've heard.
Definitely, yeah. A lot of companies have said to us, it died off in that first week or two, which was to be expected. Pump products took a forefront. Obviously, they didn't want necessarily the stimulants, and what a better time to take a stim break other than the gyms all being closed. So yeah, the pre-workout sales are back on the rise, and that only goes to show by the amount of companies that are popping up left, right, and centre, which has its perks and it has its negatives. Obviously, the perks being the good products. The ones that are fully dosed, not relying on synergy, not relying on paid reviewers, they're just coming out and delivering good products that are getting good reviews. Yeah. So definitely growing.
Yeah, and I think at the end of this pandemic, you'll soon see what companies have made the correct moves and which ones haven't. I think some supplement companies are sitting stagnant at the moment, aren't they? Because maybe they haven't got the money to continue working as normal. But I think the other ones that are actually continuing to formulate new products and making moves, they're the ones that are going to come out on top at the end.
Definitely. I think they're probably the ones that are causing the dramas too.
Yeah.
I mean, like what I saw from the story from the woman that was going crazy with you guys, like how often does the question get thrown around where people ask like, what are your qualifications? Because that really gets me when people have the audacity.
It's crazy. I've just booked in my my master's supplement review level 3.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? It's like, come on, experience is always going to be at least equal to having qualifications, if not more, because it's actual real world physical.
Exactly. That's why you'll have people looking for jobs that have degrees coming out of the, as long as their arm, but they can't get that work because the businesses and other people require that experience. It's completely different reading a book to actually living it in a real world.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%.
And that's where they're causing this hype, causing this drama, causing problems. They just want their name thrown out there with obviously people that have got, larger followings. They've done a lot of reviews on products. They just want to get perhaps a piece of the pie, a bit of the spotlight. And it's only negative. It only, like I said, we've got no horse in the race. It doesn't affect us. We get asked hourly, what product should I get next, lads? Where should I get it from? What distributor should I get it from? What retailer? It's crazy. It is crazy to see these companies try and I don't know what their aim is at the end of the day. Well, actually it is. It's just to get a bit of the pie.
Yeah, exactly. One thing that annoys me is there's a particular paid review channel that seems to think that we own the product Dark Energy because the way they work.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Yeah, they seem to think that we're the ones that formulated it and created the product. It's like, no, we just reviewed it. All over our review, it says, take caution, not for human consumption. This is just our experience. Don't buy it. And this paid review channel seems to be wound up about the fact that we've reviewed it. And like I say, keeps trying to make out that it's our product. It's like, what are you talking about? Christ almighty.
If we'd make Dark Energy, we'd probably just give up now because we'd be millionaires.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like I always feel that, if there's a product out that, your followers are asking you guys to review, it's on you guys to review it because, people want to know your feedback. And from there on, it's all good.
Yeah, and our personal opinion is we'd rather have information, truthful, useful information on the internet about these shady products than nothing at all. Because then people are blindly buying it, not knowing what to expect. Maybe they're thinking it's healthy even because they just don't know. They're like, oh, Dark Energy, that sounds cool. A beginner could buy it and harm themselves. So I would rather information be on the internet, on YouTube and on Instagram of people's experience with it, telling people to stay away from it, not for beginners, take it your own risk. So how is it bad to have more information available?
Especially when you find little bits of information here and there that actually these guys have used those products in the past and enjoyed them.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Christ almighty.
Funny stuff. But yeah, mad. It is mad. But yeah, just still going around this same sort of circle, we obviously provide free information. What do you think of websites, applications perhaps that charge people money to just find out the information that we're providing for free? Like, I don't know. Again, I guess it comes down to the living thing, but what's your opinion on that sort of thing?
I think we all know the example that, like, first thing that comes to mind is like an app where you can literally go on Google and you can type in what you need to find and you'll find it, instead of using a specific app where basically if you pay this app, then you get like the forefront, whereas you can actually go on Google, type it in, and it's right there for you, But yeah, I think it's crazy, because you guys do obviously the breakdown and everything like that. So there's no need for someone else kind of maybe using what you guys say, making like their own nice brief explanation, putting it into their kind of breakdown. And that's what these guys do. These guys are watching you with one eye, saying that you guys are, you guys don't know what you're talking about, etc., etc. So that's how the industry is. It's a whole bunch of backstabbers, man. I mean, we all know that. It's just like you can't really trust anyone in this industry because at the end of the day, they're going to turn around, stab you in your back, talk shit about you just for a quick buck or, just to, I don't know. Yeah, but that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, a comment that annoys me a lot is people saying that review channels have got no accomplishments and they leech off all these supplement companies for their accomplishments, and that review channels don't help people and that we need to cease to exist and we're a negative impact on the industry. I disagree with all of that, and I think that our followers and everyone else who supports us would as well. We're putting out free information. We're helping people every day through DMs, comments, everywhere, every possible avenue. We're helping people find the right product that suits them. So I'd love to know how that's a negative impact on the industry.
I would.
I think it just falls down to people just being overly jealous you know, because you guys are making it and they just not making it. And that's how it is even in here, you know. People want to try and like throw you under the bus without like those people talking, they don't have any accomplishments themselves. And those are the first ones to talk shit about you. And that's how it is.
Mm. I think that obviously the best perks with us, you know, you, John, the other review channels I mentioned earlier, is we're not charging people to look at the information we're providing. And I think that information is actually comprehensive. You know, I can't remember. We've had obviously multiple messages from just people on our Instagram page regarding, you know, paying these groups and things for information. They say they wouldn't even pay $5 to have access to it for, you know, a year, because the information is, well, it's null and void. Because as you say, John, there's such a thing called Google.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean,
it's almost
like I was just checking for myself. I mean, it costs. I mean, it costs nothing literally to go on Google and like type out a compound and figure out the correct dosage and, you know, what the benefits are. It takes nothing. You know, I think people just want everything spoon fed, and that's one of the main issues as well.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think there are many of them around those paid things, and I'll be even more surprised if there's more people that are actually part of those groups. Should I say?
It's a very small niche circle, and any apps that I've seen, like you're describing, have got really bad reviews as well on the App Store. So, and yeah, I just can't see them lasting, to be honest, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, what I found it a bit unfair is like, like a smaller company reached out to me and he was like, man, you know what, like, he's like, I know my products are good, but like he feels forced to send products to we all know who, because that guy has like first dibs on every other like bigger company, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's like if this person
it's like how unfair is that? Like how unfair is that for someone who actually puts out good products to feel forced to send it to this guy? Because if you don't send it, he's not going to talk about your product. He's probably going to talk shit about it. He's going to say, someone's going to ask him a question about it. He's going to say, I don't know how it is. He's not sending product to me. You know what I mean? It's like that. It's just like horrible, man.
Luckily, with with people telling us, with our experience of it, you know, those sort of people, you know, they're not providing the information people are looking for. So there's you know, next to no one in those groups. Yeah, it's just no point.
And I think there's a certain level of bamboozling going on as well to try and sound more intelligent than you are, perhaps by using big words and throwing formulas
That's
around.
what I was going to say.
People want to listen to stuff they can understand. Your average Joe doesn't understand all these chemical, fancy freaking words. They just want to know, does it work for me? Yes or no? And how does it work in layman's terms? They don't need all this fancy, fluffed up bullshit. And that's what you're paying for.
And going back to what you said, John, actually, because I completely forgot that point. Fake it till you make it. And unfortunately, these people are still faking it and they will never make it. So they are, you know, they're quick to pretend that they're getting sent all this stuff. They've got all this stuff to talk about. But I can actually, from the experiences we've had with a lot of companies, they're actually struggling to get those products in. They can't. That's why perhaps even they actually really are buying them. But they're not as well recognised as they think they might be.
Yeah.
Hence the low view counts, hence the low following rates. You know, I think that's evidence to ourselves. So I think for us to perhaps be demotivated thinking that they must have first dibs on everything is absolutely not the case.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Absolutely not the case. They may pretend, they may fake it till they make it, but they won't make it, so they're not getting those products in. And that's why you won't really see many reviews. And that's why the small knit communities, it'll only be the same products day in, day out. Hence why the views.
Yeah. It's like a radio station that plays the same music every day, just on repeat. It's like, seen that? Can I have something else? Bored now. And I think that's why people like our channels, like us a lot, is because it's so diverse. You know, you've got the lesser known companies, you've got the big companies, you've got the underground stuff. We're covering every angle and it's honest and genuine. Not the same 4 or 5 premium brands on a fucking rotator just going round and round.
Yeah. So true. So true. It's crazy. It still baffles me. It really does.
I think that's why they got their back up so much, is because we're pulling all of that shady behaviour into the spotlight, and it was a taboo subject for them. They never really wanted to talk about it or admit it or want people to be aware of it. So I think that's probably what's pissed them off above all else. So yeah. Is there anything else you want to discuss, John? Because we've got a list of a couple of things.
Yeah, I mean, like, how have you guys found this whole lockdown period? Because, yeah, I mean, it's been like quite a stressful time for everyone, but how have you guys been handling it, like, mentally, with your mental health and whatnot? Because obviously that's a big factor, I think, as well, in this industry that's obviously overlooked.
Definitely is. I think because myself and Craig, we've been very fortunate enough to be in jobs that have continued throughout. We've carried on working. We've not been placed on this furlough scheme. I don't know how you over in South Africa do it. I don't know if you've got the furlough scheme over there, which is where obviously people are not laid off work, but they don't work, and the government have to pay 80% of their wages just to survive effectively. But luckily myself and Craig have kept busy, kept training. We've got stuff at home, I've had access to gyms. So it has been quite lucky in that sense. I can imagine, however, it has been very, very difficult for a lot of people.
Yeah, and I guess the reviews are keeping us busy as well, because we're getting them out probably more often than we were before. So that's keeping our minds constantly on the next thing that we're reviewing. So
absolutely. And people at first, the views did die down at the beginning on pre-workouts, because obviously they weren't looking to purchase pre-workouts or use them. And in fact, watching something about a gym or a gym related thing probably actually was more depressing than watching it. But then as we've come back towards the end, those views are back up in the thousands. So I do think people are enjoying the reviews, and that's kept their minds perhaps busy. Even obviously that's a very, very small piece of the day, but I think we've tried to keep things as normal as possible, and hopefully people have appreciated that. I think, well, I know they have, because we get positive comments on a 10-minute basis almost.
Yeah.
So, but for people who haven't been able to train, that have had limited gym equipment, obviously the prices of gym equipment went sky high the second this all kicked off. I do feel bad for those guys. There's no denying that the gym is a place of worship for a lot of us iron warriors. It's as much for your physical body as it is for your mental health.
Yeah, 100%. So, and especially when it's something that you've worked towards or built up over a series of years and even decades in some cases, your physique, your mentality, and then it's taken away from you overnight. You're like, shit, what do I do now? So the only thing you're left that you've got control over is your diet, really, and then just trying to do basic home workouts to maintain. So yeah, it's tough.
Yeah,
how about you, John?
I mean, there is no kind of system like you guys have that side. So for us, it started off as levels where only essential workers could primarily go in. And then now we at level 3, I think. So, I mean, it's not easy, man. I mean, things are like real quiet. But, I think when lockdown first began, it was tough, man, because
we lost
how to cope with it. Sorry about that, guy. Yeah, so as I was saying, like when lockdown happened, it really knocked me off my routine. So like I had my routine, like every single day I would do something. Then getting knocked off this routine kind of set me back both mentally and with my diet as well, man. It like really suffered. I think I gained like 10 kgs in a month because I was like really depressed and everything. Because like you don't know what to do next. You don't know if you're still going to have like a family business to go to. So all those factors kind of hit in. But as you said, like luckily we keep busy with reviews. And if it wasn't for reviews, man, I think we'll all be a bit more, depressed, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, 100%.
It's one of the only things that's kept normal, or like Craig said, busier than ever. And that's, I know I'm going back to a previous point in regards to paying for products, but we get asked about so many products, and even so many products we actually have in hand that we've still got to review. So we don't really have. We do. First and foremost, we do want to review what people want us to review, whether we've got that or not. But at the same time, we have a lot of products that we've not yet reviewed that are still being asked for. So why would we not review those products first? Simply because they're just being asked about. So, for example, Naughty Boy behind me, we've got that to review. We've been asked about that a lot. Other products are coming out. Hooligan, we're already getting asked about the new Hooligan. We've not even tried it. So, you know, there's a never-ending stream of products to get reviewed. So for us to go out and buy one, and then we'd still struggle to even review it, even if we was to go out and buy it. So I know I've gone back to a previous point, but I thought it was a good timing to be brought in that, you know, we're at the stage now where we don't really need to buy a product. We can benefit those companies. Should it be a good product, a lot more than that tub will benefit us when we use it once or twice, or 3-4 times. Let's just say for a comprehensive review.
Yeah, there's actually something I want to bring up as well. I'd like to go back to a point. Do you think that those who get paid for their reviews don't really have passion? You know, like I think that's the main difference between, for example, our pages compared to a paid reviewer, is that it's so bland, so lifeless compared to, you know, where we just do it because we're passionate about it, you know?
Yeah, 100%. There's no excitement there to it, is there? It's monotone. It's very reserved, and you can tell it's not genuine, but just by looking at it.
When they do the best bits, when they do the taste sections and they're grimacing like, yeah, that's lovely. Yeah, really well done there. Like, and they're really, really looking for any positive they can. Oh, this label's nice and shiny. Oh, yeah, they've got taurine in here at 200 milligrams. Like, you see it all the time, but I'd like to think that, I know that a lot of people know. If you know, you know. It's that old saying, if you know, you know. And a lot of people do know, thankfully. So we are grateful for those followers, those supporters of our channel. And John, you must have what you're doing.
Sorry, Aaron, I lost you there a bit.
I was just saying that, you know, the support we're getting, we're very, very thankful for it from our followers, and I'm guessing that you must be getting exactly the same support from all your followers.
Yeah, mate. Of course, but like I always feel it's a bit tough as well, because like as I said, like I'm a more of an international import kind of guy. So when these guys ask me what's my favorite pre-workout, like, you know, I can't really say okay, it's it's a Harlem Hooligan, you know, because we can't get it here yet. But like I mean the support's been crazy good. And I mean, that kind of keeps us all motivated, I think, you know, and keeps us in a good headspace as well, you know?
100%. It really does. I think if it weren't for the support that outweighs the negative 500 to 1, you know, it would be different. It would be a lot more perhaps demotivating to run the channel. But in fact, because it is 500 to 1, that 1 is actually surprisingly motivational, whereas they probably think they are actually being demotivational. Yeah, it only spurs us on. It only stokes the fire, as they say.
No, that's true.
And I think they realise they're fighting a losing battle, and that's why a lot of the time they go quiet, don't they? And
or delete the posts.
Yeah.
Delete the posts, but yeah, it's crazy world. I'm ready to wrap it up, guys. If you are, really.
Yeah, I think we've covered the bulk of it. Unless there's anything else you want to touch on, John.
No, I think everything went smooth and great, guys. I don't know how you guys feel.
I think that was the best round table that there's ever been, guys. I really do. Really, really good. So, thank you, John, for your time. Obviously, it's been great talking with you. The same sort of mindset, same sort of, even though we're in, you know, different continents, it's amazing to see we think exactly the same.
Yeah.
Great, guys. I mean, thank you, Aaron, and thank you, Craig, as well, for having me on. I mean, I appreciate it massively, guys.
And I know that to anyone watching, we're going to keep doing this. We were on a mission. We're going to keep it truthful and honest, and we're going to keep calling out the bullshit. So bring on the fire. We're ready for it. We was born in fire, so we're ready for it.
And we've got fire extinguishers on the ready.
Brilliant. Cheers, John. Thank you. See you later, Craig, as well.
See you later.
Bye.